Hey, welcome back to Blatherrhea. I'm John Caparulo.
And I'm Brian Shinanigan. Welcome back.
Hi, we're on location today at my house.
Mm-hmm. In the Caparulo sanctum.
It's spectacular. This is the whole thing too. This is the whole house.
This is all you get to see.
It's just this box. Yeah, we're just I just
like chair tops and backgrounds.
I like to sit in front of my flag. So yeah, it's the step and repeat that we had from my fucking Harris show. But it looks good. It's better than the alternative because back there's all kinds of chaos. Like lift it up and there's a chicken coop or something. But
if you had a chicken coop, we'd have that shit in the back.
That would be phenomenal. Awesome. Yeah, it'd be great.
We'd be like, are they on a fucking farm? Like, no, that's my house.
Yeah, man. That'd be. It's like, why do you live like that, John? Well, it's a long story.
Eggs are expensive. That's all.
Yeah. Of course. What you ever heard of people do it? Like I heard about Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like I was reading one of those books about the Patriots dynasty or something like that, and they were talking about how Kraft has he has like a chicken coop or whatever at on his estate and he goes out and plucks himself fresh eggs every day from the hens, and I don't know if I'd feel okay about that.
You never had chickens?
I really, huh?
Never growing up, even in Ohio, you never had chickens?
No.
Really?
No. I think Jamie did, or at least a relative of hers.
We had chickens in L.A., yeah.
You did?
Yeah, because, frankly, the neighbors had chickens, so eventually we had chickens.
Because
they came over the wall, they laid some eggs, they hatched, and we had chickens, too.
Really?
We had chickens for years. It was great because fresh eggs all the time, and they were so
I
easy
guess.
to feed.
I mean, because eggs are usually so hard to find.
Well,
I don't know if I want to look the hen in the eye and be like, here, I'll take that. Let me take your unborn child. And I didn't even know till recently because Jamie told I didn't realize eggs that they're unfertilized or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not actually a fucking chicken in there. See, I didn't know this shit.
Unless you get the Filipino eggs. Have you seen those, the balut, where it's like a little formed chicken in there, or whatever, little duck egg with a little formed duck, and they eat the fucking baby duck that's in there, partially formed.
Like fucking Grogu?
It's a whole delicacy. It is a delicacy.
Baby Yoda.
I have eaten it twice, and neither time I enjoyed it. I mean, there is a beak.
I can't.
You can tell it's an animal. I want to see just.
Yeah. I don't want to. I remember Jamie and I went to
goo.
We went to a sushi restaurant back in L.A. I remember, and they had something. It was it was a clam. It was like a clam, but it was still alive. You actually ate it still fucking.
Yeah.
Alive. What am I, a fucking reptile? I don't want anything moving when I'm eating. I don't want it to, I don't want to bite down and hear, ouch. That would ruin my meal. I
have had a lot of things at sushi you would not. I have eaten the beating heart of a shark. I have eaten that. Yes.
Really?
When they made that shit fresh and they fucking give it to you and it's still moving.
Still beating?
Yeah. I have eaten a lobster where
they
cut the lobster up. And they put the lobster there, and they pour sake on the lobster, so it's still moving while you're eating the back half of it.
And you're just okay with that, huh?
Because that shit was good. I mean,
so dead lobster isn't good?
Live lobster, it's fresh. It's the whole show. I mean, at some places they do the live eel. We did that once for my mom's birthday, where they get the live eels and they stake that motherfucker down and they strip the thing off and.
Fucking barbarians.
He made seven dishes with it. The Japanese, like I said, they want to show that it's fresh. They're fresh.
You know what? This could lead us into one of our topics today. Why don't we talk about the chickens?
Oh, so all right. So we're gonna go.
Why don't we do that one?
Topic number one, you guys. Today,
okay, let's talk about that.
We are. So, I'll put it on the screen for you. A man in China. Okay. He was sentenced to 1 year in prison. He was jailed for scaring 1,100 of his neighbors' chickens to death. So...
He got a year in jail? He got a year in prison?
Yeah.
Or jail, or whatever.
I mean, that dude, it was a chicken farm. That dude lost a lot of livelihood and that kind of stuff.
So it was like a property damage sort of thing?
It was because it was like his neighbors, they were having a feud over some stuff, and he went over there, and apparently... Like, chickens are dumb, right?
Well,
Obviously.
yeah, I mean, they're extremely dumb.
So
but
he
I mean,
basically would shine a flashlight on the chickens. It would scare them. They'd all run to one corner of like the coop and trample each other to get there. So they would like kill each other getting to the safe corner.
see, this is one of those like when because my daughter, she's only 7. She went through she and my wife both committed to vegetarianism for it was roughly a year and a half, 2 years. They were
that's a
really
good run.
they were all about vegetarian because it was basically like right after the age where we had to break it to Madden that like what a burger is and what and she felt so. Then every time I would I'd make burgers, which would be every night for me and the dogs, or I'd get poor cows, or when I'd eat chicken, which would be every lunch. I eat a lot of fucking chicken, and so you say poor chickens, and it's like, okay, this is the life that that you're snuffing out. Really, is like that a fucking flashlight would cause a basically a soccer riot amongst fucking chickens.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you got to feel that bad about I mean animals that are farmed out like I still eat them dead, okay? Because let's get back to that. Like I don't, I mean, if I as much as I love fried chicken. I fucking love some chicken. Love chicken teriyaki. But I mean, if I heard if anything screamed though when I bit into it, it wouldn't be good anymore. And that's where I'm back to with the thing that led us into this is I couldn't eat anything fucking moving, man. That would bother me.
So there's a place, and I'm going there. Like I was already planned to go there because I had a big Japanese trip planned in 2020. Obviously, that didn't fucking happen for reasons,
Right, well,
like
of course,
we were going for like 3 weeks because with my friend, his wife is Japanese, she speaks Japanese. We're gonna go all this stuff. There is a restaurant in Japan where you walk through like the front yard where all the chickens are into the restaurant where they serve that chicken. Like they literally are taking that shit from the yard, butchering that shit there in sight, and giving you fresh chicken like that.
Right. Well, we went to a place. It was we went to Zion National Park in Utah, and like there's a place right there where they have there's like a buffalo ranch, and they have buffalo steaks on the menu.
So,
And
like that episode of The Simpsons where it's like,
right,
I want
Mr.
something from that cow.
That one, yeah, Mr. Burns is like, oh, he didn't put up much of a fight. It's like, brr.
Give me that one.
Right.
That one.
It's just like, I don't, something about, actually seeing him, seeing him blinking, like, I just don't think I could eat anything after that. And I don't think, like, that doesn't really, it doesn't do it for. I still like the separation of like, look, it's just a steak. It's a steak. I don't want to know that it's a steak from from Bill over here. Like I don't want to know that it's his hip. I don't want to know that it's like, oh look, I'm eating that one's leg. I don't want to think of it like that. I just want to think of it as it's just meat. I'm just eating some meat. But I don't want to get to know its its origin.
Did you ever eat at that Harris Ranch up the 5 freeway, like between San Francisco and LA?
I don't think so.
There's like it's like right in the middle. Like there's all the like you passed it because it's all the cattle in a row, and then there's a restaurant right there.
Okay.
And that Harris Ranch restaurant, like they have a slaughterhouse on site. The cows are right there, and like you can get a fresh steak like that.
Who enjoys that? Like why would that be fun? It's just like I mean like I mean obviously I will eat the fuck out of some meat, but I don't. And if you have any extra fat, I'll take that too. But I mean, I just don't want to.
You don't want to go that farm to table.
Yeah,
you need at least a little separation between farm and table. Like it's like that's too.
Like, are you really that worried like about the origin or like the source of it? Like like no, I want to see from the time he dies until he's on my plate.
Yep.
I want to know.
I want to know right where he was.
I'm gonna make sure.
Which pen was he in?
Yeah. Did you wipe his ass first before you get? Like I just think it's really. That's pretty. It's kind of barbaric. Like I said, it's not exactly something that I'd be that would enhance my meal. Is what I'm saying. But back. So this guy, this guy scared. I mean, did he do it on purpose?
Yeah.
Like, did he
Oh, yeah.
know? Like, he knew putting a flashlight on them. Like, how does a flashlight? Now I'm getting into fucking chicken logic. But I mean, if I'm just thinking, if I were poultry,
there's thousands of them, tens of thousands of them in like a long barn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how most chickens are mass done. So you start shining that light, and 10, 20,000 chickens all try to go to one corner to get away quickly.
So what do they do when the sun comes up?
It's natural. They're still in their, they're used to it with the circadian rhythm and that kind of stuff, and the sun don't come up like flipped on.
Well, yeah, okay,
you know?
yeah, you get a warning.
Yeah,
Okay, I got you. So
it's just that
when it's just bright, it goes from midnight to fucking 1 o'clock like that. Okay, I
somebody
got you.
came in shining a flashlight on you in the middle of the night, you'd be like,
Yeah, you know what? I guess if I got just sudden light,
you trample into the corner.
I don't go to bed till the sun comes up usually.
Yes,
So
yes.
it doesn't really. I don't really. My habits don't apply, but I think that I guess I can. I can see that, but still, that they all because they all 1,100 chickens were like all of them, or was it some of them? Like all of them trampled? Because I saw that they killed each other, but I didn't realize it was trampling to death. I thought they went crazy and fought each other or something. But again, too, like this guy got put in jail for a year. A year for
So he did it twice.
for shining a flashlight on some chickens.
So he did it once, and that killed 500 chickens. And then he came back a second time and killed another 600.
Jesus.
And apparently it's because they all just try to get in the corner, and it's just the weight of other chickens crushes the ones at the bottom.
They say why he did this?
It's just they're feuding.
They're just
feuding.
I mean, I can see he did it the first time, and was it just a prank? Did he think it was? Because I remember me and one of my best friends, Sachin, back when we were growing up back in Ohio. We got addicted to doing this because you ever do something and it's really funny and you laugh at it and you're like, oh my, you're almost like a little kid where you're just like, I want to laugh like that again. So you want to recapture. It's almost like chasing the dragon with fucking drugs, man. Like because I remember this one night it was after 4th of July, but somehow we had extra fireworks laying around, and
everybody does. I got some laying around right now.
Of course, just in case.
Just in case, you got to keep back up fireworks.
I remember we ended up one night we're driving around because we had shit else to do in my little hometown, and we ran across these girls we knew or something, and one of my friends had broken up with her, and somehow we end up getting in a car chase with them, where we're going out, and we decided, and I don't know why, because we were idiots. We're going after them behind them. We're chasing their car down the main street, which is a 35 mile per hour street. And I remember Sachin tries to shoot a bottle rocket at him from the car, and it's we're behind them in traffic. It's pew! And we drove past the bottle rocket because it couldn't even keep up with the car.
Yeah.
And then we decided we had a Roman candle, so we ended up later in the night, they ended up back at one of them's house, and they're in the backyard, and we could hear them because we ended up we were gonna we wanted to shoot the bottle or the Roman candle at their house, and we had the perfect setup, other than if somebody was nude, but it was they were in the backyard talking, and we had a Roman candle, and we're on this hillside fucking like Schwarzenegger and Predator, where he's hiding. So he's we're real quiet. We can hear them talking. We shoot the Roman candle over them, and they just stop talking and start watching this fucking fireworks show over their head. And we run down the hill laughing like children, just laughing our balls off, falling over. And we proceeded to do that probably every night for the next 2 months. I mean, it was it got to the point where, because the first
how many
night
fireworks
it was
did you have
the first
stocked
night,
up?
that was the thing. We started calling the fireworks place after 4th of July, and they weren't around. And we let the phone ring until somebody fucking answered. I remember I let it ring for 47 minutes one time, and this pissed off dude answers fireworks. I'm hey, so you are there? I'm we want to buy some Roman candles. He's well, how many are you looking to buy? Because we're not really open this time of year. I was 2? He fucking hung up on me. It was fucking awful. But I was fucking 16. I was like, I don't have any money. But
I'm not buying a gross.
We just kept fucking we was just shooting fire. I mean, because the first night we did it, there was like 4 of us or whatever. Like we had a getaway car. Like it was all, it was like a fun, like almost like a party atmosphere. Then it just became me and Sachin. Fucking just by ourselves, like late at night. Everybody else had to work the next morning. We're just like, you want to go hit them with a Roman candle? It's like we just drive over there ourselves. Afterwards, you just park the car, fucking walk across the neighborhood, shoot the fireworks. That's pretty funny again. All right, let's get. And we found out for a while, like 2 weeks of it, they were on vacation. They were shooting fireworks at their house. They weren't even fucking
nobody.
Home. It was fucking stupid. But
oh my god,
it was funny as fuck the first time, and we became addicted to it. That's what I mean. Where it's like, is this dude like, oh my god, my prank couldn't have gone any better on the neighbors. Where it's like, I drove his chickens fucking nuts, and a lot of them are dead now. And I'm, you got to you have a pretty morbid sense of humor. But is that what he did? I don't know.
Well, with this, the guy apparently cut down a bunch of trees on his property he didn't want cut down. So it's like I said, it's classic neighbor. It's classic neighbor war bullshit. Like,
damn man,
that's you got a year in prison.
Wow.
I mean, like I said, 1,100 chickens is a lot of chickens, bro. That's a lot of. That's a lot.
You don't want to. You don't want to go to prison for some stupid shit
no,
too. I mean,
stupid shit.
Eventually it's gonna get around. Yeah, when they find out, it's like you flashlighted some chickens to death. Yeah, you might be taking some dicks. So it's, that might get painful. I don't know. I don't know how Chinese prison is though. I don't know if they're
it's not good.
I'm sure it's not. I don't know if they use chopsticks. I don't know if that matters, but it doesn't apply.
Culturally speaking, I assume they use chopsticks.
Well, I mean, I know if they choose chopsticks when they're doing prison rape, though. That's what I'm saying. It's that might hurt more. I don't know.
Specific.
I don't know, but for me, it would be harder to do because I can't. I need a fork. So yeah, I need a fork to pull off my prison rape that I wouldn't do anyway. So why am I even getting into this? See, anyway. Sorry, chickens.
Chickens.
Hopefully.
Well, let's.
Hopefully they were able to
let's mix it up
whip
a little
up
bit.
some kung pao and some teriyaki real quick so it didn't go to waste.
And we'll go from chickens to somebody spending way too much money on something, Cap. So we talked the other week about vanity license plates, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Apparently in other countries, license plates be at a premium. So let me put the article up for you guys here. So this license plate, the license plate is P7. That's it. P and the number 7. This license plate sold for $15 million. So someone could have the privilege of owning this license plate. What does it mean?
I mean, like, I couldn't see P1. Because, okay, like, that's like a video game thing.
Well, it's
like
in
if you're
Dubai.
Player One
I could see like Oil Baron or like Big Oil or something like that.
Like,
just
literally the
how
words
is that
P7.
like?
Because that's the thing. Like, I read the article before this, and a little bit, or at least I think I read through most of it, and I didn't see where they actually explained why P7.
No, I couldn't find it either.
A couple other ones where I'm like, why are you, like, it's why do you even, like, if you're getting a personalized plate, wouldn't you put something funny or cool or something like if you got the license plate Mr. Cool, okay, and you're like, oh man, that's bad, or Batman or fucking whatever.
007,
I mean,
like any,
right,
like any of
there you go. Okay,
420,
that
69,
means something. Right,
like
right, yeah.
666 even, you know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
All that stuff.
Yeah, but it's like, I got
P7. It's like bingo.
49D. Like, okay, good. Why?
You got to row in the plane. That's my favorite.
That's
point.
why I'm wondering
P7.
what P7 means. Yeah, right. It's like,
I don't know. Is it culturally
doesn't...
speaking? Is it a lucky number?
Well, yeah, what does
I don't
P7 mean? Because it's like,
I don't know.
I mean, if you got, because they said that like one of the ones that was also a big, it was the number 1. Like what? Like did their license plate really go that sequentially? Like where it's just like. They get the first car ever was 1,
yeah,
and they just went 1, 2, 3, and then
And that license plate number 1 was the highest rating before.
That was
sold
before
for
that, right?
14 million.
Which 1 makes sense at
Yeah.
least. You know, it's
But
like, okay,
7?
you're 1. I mean,
and I looked up because I went a little further. Also in this auction was AA19, O71, and Q2222. Those sold for like 6 million, 9 million, and like 10 million each. Like
why?
Why?
Like,
Why?
Like, I just would.
We got people over here arguing about vanity plates.
I mean, I can't imagine getting to the point where money would mean that little to what I mean.
And the dude that won is the guy that found a Telegram. So it's got
really?
Yeah, the guy that found the Telegram app was the one that bought it for 15 million.
I'm on Telegram for Madden, like for our league.
You bought this license plate,
but
baby.
what the fuck? Okay, see, I don't understand that either. Like, how does the guy who created that app, how do they make money? There's no ads on there.
Stock, all that kind of stuff.
But what's the stock? How do they make money? The app's free. Mm-hmm. There's no ads. So where's the revenue?
There's not a paid service on it or anything
like
that.
There's nothing. There's not a fucking thing. Like
I honestly
it's a message. It's basically you get on there.
I've never even used it.
And you have it's like
it's
another.
Like Slack
it's basically like your messages app. Like you just get on there. You have a list of all the people that you talk to, or you like in the Madden thing we have it like rearranged into rooms for fourth down check in or strategy or anything like that. So it's like you go in there and you talk to your people, and it's whoever's led into the. But there's no ads.
Oh.
There's no. So where's the revenue come from? Like, am I that fucking stupid?
No, they sell the data.
They sell
the people that use it.
So
the demographic data, all that kind of stuff.
So they're selling what? Gotcha.
Who uses it? Where they are?
That's fucking. That's some sinister shit, man.
That's how most of these apps make money.
Man,
if they don't have ads, they're selling your data.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's fucking. Yeah. That's crazy.
But
okay, so
dude, I don't. I mean, I have aspirations to be financially stable, but I don't have
different that somebody would have paid for that.
I don't have $15 million license plate dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man. If I could pay for a blank one. if I was allowed to have no license plate or I don't know. I mean, or one that I don't know.
Cap, this
made my car invisible.
This is the same reason I quit working in the casino. Because I saw too many people lose what the last straw for me was I saw a guy lose $1 million on one roll of the dice.
Really?
It was a dude. He was like a sheik or something. Had the full thing on. He had a bunch of guys with him where you could see the Uzis under their jackets, kind of thing. He walked. I was at the Blatherrhea working.
Yeah.
He walked up to the craps table. He put a chip down I'd never seen. It was a big multicolored chip. It was $1 million chip. I looked at the boss. He just nodded and said, "Go ahead." Some other guy was rolling. Some random jabroni. He rolled a 3 craps 3. The dude I picked up the thing. I threw it to the box guy. He put it in the thing. That dude lost $1 million on one roll of the dice. Just kind of swore under his breath and walked away. And I was like, fuck, dude. You know what I could do with that? Would have done with that $1 million that guy just lost in 2 seconds?
You would have bet on 7.
I would at least taken a horn bet. I'd at least spread it out a little bit.
At least bet it on something.
At least made a
at
covering
least be
bet.
rolling the dice.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine betting on somebody else rolling the fucking dice. Like,
no, that was it. I
would be scared as fuck if I'm the dude with the dice.
Yeah.
Like I've never played crap, so
that
maybe
dude
I just don't
had no
understand
idea what was going on. It would happen so fast. That guy was so concerned about he maybe had $30 on the table. That other guy that was rolling. He was just concerned about his little money, and this poor sap lost $1 million on one roll of the dice. It blows my mind. Like I said, I just wanted to hang out the high roller suite and be like, "Give me money, I'll send you pictures what I do with it." Like it's just crazy, and that was kind of the last straw for me with casino because I mean I had seen so many things up to that point. So many things, some of the worst.
But for somebody to just have
$1
no regard
one roll of the
for
dice.
that much cash, or I mean, when you put it like that, at least the guy with the license plate got the license plate.
He got something for it.
He really did a lot better with his. But of course, he paid 15 times as much though for it. So,
bro. If I wanted it that bad, I would buy a fucking fake one.
I mean, because were they donating to charity with the proceeds? Is that what it was?
Oh, it was a charity auction. Okay. It was a charity auction.
Which I don't know. I mean, it depends on the charity because I have a thing now with with charity. Like I never I never trust that the money's going where they say it's going.
No, especially because a percentage, it only has to be a certain percent of the money.
Right. There's a lot of fucking fine print on
a
those
lot of
things.
administrative fees, and people got to have salaries and run the charity and all that stuff. So
right.
It's
So
like,
I just never really am like so in the sense that it's like, oh well, it went to a good cause. Maybe, but it's like, I don't know that. I don't know, because it seems like all the charities that we donate to, it's like they still need more charity because nothing's happening. It's like, oh, I donated all this money to AIDS research and there's still AIDS. So what the fuck? Like, what did that do? Like,
if I'm gonna donate, I donate time, because honestly, that's my most precious resource. So if I'm giving you time, I'll give you time, because I know that it's going to something because I'm doing something.
Right.
But it's just, it's hard for me to just blindly give money to anything. I even like to give money to political candidates, because I'm like, where the hell's that going?
Oh, yeah, that's...
everywhere I've worked for, I've been a volunteer.
You might as well buy a license plate or fucking go throw some money down on some craps, because you're actually feeding the beast that's killing us.
Well, from one
Was that too dark? I'm sorry, but it's the truth, all right? They all suck. Don't fucking donate to those bastards.
Well, from one amount of money spent to another one, we're going to go to this new article here, guys. Connecticut Croc King collects more than 2,000 pairs of Crocs, okay? Some people collect Jordans. This guy. Some people collect cards, collect whatever, but man, Crocs? The plastic shoes?
I can't. Well, I mean, I can't see it, but I can see it. I don't know. I mean, because it's just like, I don't know. They're house shoes, so it's like you're just wearing them around. I mean,
if only they were only house shoes.
Unless you're an AT-AT. You're not gonna.
They are like
that one's
when we worked
Crocs.
at an ice cream store. All those kids wore Crocs.
Yeah. My daughter's got a few pairs of Crocs. I mean. I have two pairs of Crocs. I have a straight black pair, and then I have a Millennium Falcon pair.
I bet he has that pair too.
If you look at him, I bet he does. You'd have to. I mean, what else are you gonna get? These ones are My Little Pony. Like, okay, great, but I can't see 2,000. I could see where okay. I like Jordan 3s. I like Jordan 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, 5 are the Jordans I have and that I tend to wear. But 3 is pretty much 90% of the time. And Jordan 3, if you look down at my shoe rack, I think I got somewhere around 15 pairs of Jordan 3s. But they're Jordan 3s. I mean, you can't dunk from the foul line with Crocs. You're gonna hurt your ankle. Okay, so I don't think that. So I don't understand what there's no personality or endorsement.
Of all the things you cared about in this shoe thing, is like, you can't dunk.
Well, of course
Crocs.
You can. I mean, you can't
show your
jump higher.
breakaway speed in Crocs.
You're gonna put it up a double nickel with some Crocs, but
God,
you can but it's still like. I mean, so if you're that into Crocs, I don't know. I mean, I've found better house shoes since, like, these are cushier. So, yeah, because I need a good house shoe.
I've seen some interesting Crocs, I've seen the ones that look like cheese wedges, or like the Nickelodeon ones.
Well, like I said, I have Millennium Falcon ones.
But most of the ones that make them special are like the charms they put on them, not even the shoes.
Okay, like if you look at my Millennium Falcon ones, though, I don't think, unless I told you they were Millennium Falcon, you would even really know. Because, I mean, it looks like, kind of like the ship, but it's a Croc. I don't know.
It's still a Croc.
It
still looks like a Croc.
Yeah, it's a Croc. It's just a Croc that it just kind of looks like a little bit of the outside of the ship, but it's not. It wouldn't immediately jump out at you.
Well,
They're not.
I'll say one thing with this collection: it's attainable. Crocs ain't that expensive. You know what I'm saying?
But they're more expensive than you'd think.
Well, if you get the limited edition ones, those can be hundreds of dollars.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, those are like fucking Beanie Babies, but it's like they're like a standard pair of Crocs. I think they're like $40.
It's like 39 or 49 bucks,
which is a lot more than they should be. Because I mean, they're still just fucking slippers for the house. I mean, I have The only my black Crocs I take on the road with me for basically my hotel wearing, because I can't have bare feet. I get fucking plantar fasciitis and it hurts like a son of a bitch. So, I'll let you know any other my medical problems as we go along.
We'll cover that in another episode.
It's okay. So I mean, but I just I can't imagine like needing more like one. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. You know, like I like some basketball shorts that it's not like I'm playing ball, but I like wearing shorts most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's cool to have like a few different teams and different, but 2000, you only got 2 feet, so I don't know. I just
365 days.
There's
a
not
year,
that much wear and tear in your Crocs.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just a person that I like. I'm a collector, but I like to wear my collection. Like I said, I don't go with the Jordans. I go with like the old school Converse. But like those are my stage shoes. You know what I'm saying? I wear my nice Converse. Like that's what I wear on stage. Otherwise, I'm almost always sandals. You know, like because I got hot feet. I need sandals. You know, it's especially in Vegas. I'm not wearing no fucking shoes. But I don't own a pair of Crocs. I don't like how they look. Like it's just not my
that's
thing.
what I mean.
They're not comfortable. I have a 13 foot. They're not comfortable in the big sizes.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't go. I've never gone really, other than like I said, wear them in hotels.
I own one pair of Crocs sandals. Crocs made a sandal. I had one pair of those, but they hurt my feet because they were all plastic. It was just kind of weird.
Yeah, you got to break them in.
Yeah,
but it's just
2,000 pairs, man.
2,000 pairs of fucking Crocs. It's just
Guinness record.
You could have gotten a license plate.
Guinness record.
You probably you could have gotten yourself a nice license plate or a moment in Vegas. To watch a chip go down a slot. So,
2,127 pairs of Crocs this dude got.
Jesus. See, that's the thing too. Is like, if I really liked Crocs, like if I had unlimited funds to spend on Jordans, I'd probably have a lot more pairs than I do. But I don't know that the media would catch wind of this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if I just had money to throw on Crocs, let's say. Like, if it, I could get the Millennium Falcon ones. I could get the, if they made ones that were like the Land Speeder.
He's got one in his collection that are KFC Crocs that smell like KFC. It's in his collection.
They smell like KFC?
They smell like KFC. You want your Crocs to smell like KFC? Just go work at a KFC for a day.
Yeah,
they'll smell like KFC forever.
Yeah, but then your feet would smell like fucking KFC. Yeah. Like, why would you want that? Like, I don't. Why would that even be a thing? Like, because they didn't make multiple pairs of those, did they? I mean,
they were a collectible. People bought them. They sold out quick.
There's so much of the world that
Arby's made
those,
dude. Like, they made those with a whole like sweatsuit with the Arby's Crocs. You could buy a sweatsuit where it's like all roast beef.
If you like Arby's that much, you got a problem anyway. Because I could understand the KFC thing because it's fucking KFC, but fucking roast beef out of a tube is not really something you should be that much of a fan of. I mean, unless you like Jamocha shakes, you shouldn't be fucking frequenting Arby's. I have a problem with that. But what are the other like special edition ones that he has? What do you
say in here? I mean, he just says every pair is like an empty canvas.
So yeah, I can see where it's like I said, like okay, it's your thing. You like that, okay, I collect them, but I guess I don't have to agree with you, sir. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I guess I just have other things I guess I would be into as opposed to that, but I don't understand how, okay, you got 2,000 pairs of Crocs, how, like, you just don't have 2,000 pairs of Crocs, and there isn't an article about it. Like, why would you call the Associated Press to let them know?
Why would you call Guinness?
How did that?
He got
so
Guinness
he's got to Guinness
record.
about it. Yeah, again, like why? Just have
too much
just
shit,
have
Cap.
your Crocs, man.
Yeah, just enjoy your collection.
Yeah, just have your
it's
shit.
Like, dude, he was on Vice
TV
TV because of this collection. Like, he was on TV for this. It's just
Jesus
like
Christ.
Everybody wants their 15 minutes.
Been doing
of fame
comedy
from
fucking
something.
26 years and
yeah.
All I had to do was buy a bunch of fucking sandals, some clogs, some rubber clogs. Fuck me.
He'd be taking him around, showing off the clock, and he calls his house the Crocseum. Like museum, but from Crocs. See, there's a little wordplay there.
Nah, just
yeah.
All right.
All right. I think we've talked enough about Crocs. That brings us to our main story of the day.
Why didn't we say that? Anyway, this
what
is our
crock.
main story of the day. Okay, good. What have we got here?
So, I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. So, Boston Transit Police find Star Wars character while responding to gun call. So, the times we living in, things be crazy. Well, apparently this dude was, waiting for the train to go to the anime convention dressed as Boba Fett, and people called in on him, and they literally sent the SWAT team because they said he had a long gun.
Okay, so let's say you just don't get, like, you see him walking down the street, and you're the only person on the planet who never saw fucking Empire Strikes Back.
Or any Star Wars related anything
You've never
ever.
Seen any, you don't know who Boba Fett is, and you just see that guy. Even if you haven't seen it, you could probably look at him and assume that's probably a costume of some sort. Because if you don't think it's, have you seen fucking Power Rangers or the Rocketeer or anything like that? Like something like that where
so
you go,
many helmet-based things.
I'm sure, like, of all things, do you think if somebody's really a criminal and they're up to no good, they're gonna get they got a suit of armor that they're gonna put on before they're gonna go out and fucking start mayheming all over the place? Like it's just like, why would, okay, so you don't get that, fine. You think it might be something
sinister,
somewhat, yeah, okay, that guy might be a problem, but still, the fact that you went so far as to call the police to send out a fucking team of armed, jacked up, ready to fight, basically a platoon of fucking soldiers that they are going to go out and potentially hurt this guy because of whatever mistakes, fucking, we got a call, they said so, get on the ground, fuck up his armor, maybe shoot his dog, whatever, something, and it's like, they're like, did you go that far as to call the cops? It's just irresponsible, and it really could have ended very badly.
That
for
is
this
the picture
guy.
of the guy. That is what the guy looked like.
He
in
looks
a powder
like
blue outfit,
even if
with
I've
a
never,
black helmet on.
Even if I'm not into Star Wars, the guy.
He's got a cape on, for Christ's sake.
Or there's currently a fucking a series on Disney Plus that's very popular called The Mandalorian that has an outfit just like that, and it's like you don't recognize that at all as anything, and like, fortunately the cops knew that he was Boba Fett. A good thing, at least one of the guys on the SWAT team recognized that he's in some, what is it, Beskar or Beskar or whatever.
Beskar armor.
Beskar armor, yeah. And it's like he's. I just got into Mandalorian like a week and a half ago, but it's but the fact that like you actually went and said, you know what, I should call the police because what kind of gun did he have on him that looked?
You see, that's in the picture. You see,
I can't see really well. But didn't Boba Fett just basically have like a regular blaster?
Yeah, look at that. That's not a long gun.
It looks like a space gun.
Like a fake gun.
Yeah.
It does not look like a real gun. There is no magazine.
And also, we live in America. If that was a real gun, odds are he probably has a concealed carry or open carry license. You're supposed to be able to have that. I don't own a gun myself.
But he's got a green cape on. He has the badge from the Comic-Con hanging from his waist.
If you see somebody it's just, if you're in a fucking suit of armor like that, you're not up to fucking like devious deeds here. Like, nobody dresses like that to go fucking carjacking or so. Like, he's not gonna and you're supposed to be able, like, in our country, to carry. You're supposed to be able to own guns, and if you have a whatever license, you should be able to open carry or whatever. And it's like, none of that even applies here. But even if you thought that's what it was, still, you don't think about any of that. You reported that guy for doing something that the second right out of the Bill of Rights guarantees that we're supposed to be able to do.
But he was literally standing on a subway platform in a cape with a helmet on, waiting for
and
a
they
subway
said
thing.
they got multiple calls. It just wasn't one person who called.
And no, yeah, like 2 or 3 people called, and no one else around him was concerned. Does anybody in that picture look concerned? They're all sitting there waiting for their train.
I mean, everybody, he's walking
There's
past
other
people.
You can see other people
He's
in
on
the
an
back
open,
doing
well-lit
cosplay.
sidewalk.
Yeah.
And he's got a name badge.
He's got
there.
the badge.
What
from
the fuck? He's got a
hanging from his
lanyard,
waist.
and he's
Exactly.
like, really, and you think like, oh man, something's going. He's headed to the clock tower. To fucking really.
He's like giving the salute as he's going by. Like, this is the way. Like, it's like. I mean, you see the guy in the background, the security guy in the background, just like,
right, yeah, you know? Exactly.
But dude, they were ready to fucking kill this guy.
I bet they were. That's what I'm saying. Because those a SWAT team,
they show up,
they get all fucking geeked up and ready to fucking start cracking skulls, man. And it's like they show up and they could have killed this guy.
Yeah,
this guy could be dead because you fucking you haven't seen Star Wars. It's really, I mean, what it comes down to is like, but even if you haven't, you reported a guy for doing something we're all allowed to do.
And,
I mean, you should be.
And
I mean,
thank God that the Metro guys, they didn't even like stop and frisk him or nothing. They just went, oh my God. They just went, oh my God. Like, dude, you're like great costume. Like, it's like at least they de-escalated they didn't come all guns out.
I wish if shit like that, they should be able to go to whoever called house and fucking
and be like,
and throw them on the ground and fucking why don't you get tased now? Because you fucked up.
The dude, he's got gauntlets on. He's got ankle booty. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a jetpack on. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like really? Like what do you think when was the last time somebody in a fucking wearing a jetpack is gonna fucking
it's
really,
a good Boba Fett costume, but it's not a great Boba Fett costume. It's mid-range.
It's better than our Boba Fett costume,
which is none.
Yeah, I don't have one. You don't have one, so it's a pretty good Boba Fett costume.
You're not wrong.
It's not great, but it's still
I would like a helmet.
It still does the trick. It's still like I said. I would know. You would know. Most of the population of planet Earth would know that that's Boba Fett. I mean, it's pretty easy to recognize.
It's a dude standing at the subway. He wasn't pointing his shit at anybody.
Right. Like,
he wasn't yelling and screaming or making threatening stuff.
Okay, if he's the clock tower guy from Texas in the 60s or whatever, like the guy who's up to no good, he's carrying a gun out in the open. Like, what do you think so he's going to go get on the subway wearing a fucking suit of armor and a fucking helmet like that, and really he's told, we better report this because he's up to something.
With a gun.
Don't you think
clip.
he would try to conceal some of that if he was on his way to do something bad? Yeah. I just really that. It's such.
There is no clip in this gun.
It's disappointing how
it is a non-functional weapon.
Because it's such a it's just such an accepted thing. Like, the people are going to see a guy that they think has a gun, and I'm going to call the cops, and I'm going to fuck up his day, and then, then we're just going to move on with our night. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, we're going to report him, have him possibly hurt or put in jail or something like that for some fucked up shit. Like, it's just a joke you didn't get.
It's like when they're doing that whole SWAT thing with Twitch people. Did you ever see that stuff? Where
somebody gets swatted.
Call their freaking SWAT team and have them come and arrest these fucking people on Twitch live.
Yeah, that's because that's become an accepted verb.
Yeah,
swatting. Like
it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the people were just other jerks. Were like, oh, this guy, I don't like this fucking guy.
Right, yeah. It's somebody dressed as Bosk or IG-88.
But people get fucking shot for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people die or people
they do all the time. I mean, that's what people get hurt or get falsely imprisoned or arrested, end up having all that shit on their record, or at the very least, a lot of times, people get, people get hurt all the time, because when you call the cops on somebody you're sending a team of armed individuals to basically to go accost this person, and anything can happen from that, and anything
Dude,
has and does.
Those guys are wound up tight too, especially
Man,
with all
fucking
the stuff that's been happening lately. I mean, God, there was, I mean, 2 shootings today in Tennessee. I mean, it's just, and people are all amped up and fully torqued on that stuff. And a lot of this shit, I mean, if you got the wrong cop, dude, he's going to shoot first and ask questions later.
Exactly. And the thing is and when the cops investigate themselves, they're going to find that they did nothing wrong.
Correct.
And that's where it comes out. It's just like, stop. You got to be more responsible than that to think about it before you go fucking sending, a team of soldiers to somebody's fucking doorstep or whatever. Like, fucking relax. Get off the phone, man.
But the point is, it's one of the busiest stations there. There was hundreds and hundreds of other people.
And he wasn't shooting any of them.
And none of them...
No, but he wasn't
threatening, and none of them thought... Like I said, if it
plus
was
his bounty got away.
If it was a true shooter incident, they wouldn't... thousands of people would have been calling, not 3.
Right. And it's like, yeah, because everybody else knows... Everybody else has watched fucking Empire Strikes Back. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been one of the people. I haven't watched Book of Boba Fett yet. But it's crazy how really popular that character got over the years. I mean, because he
was a bit character.
So when you think back, I mean, like what his role was. Honestly, Darth Vader's role in Star Wars really didn't expand until after. The first one came out, like when people people fell in love with that villain, his role expanded, and that's when Lucas wrote him in as the father, and everything worked out. But that wasn't the plan, and I've read this or had it read to me in an audiobook. But just like when you think about his role, he's the guy who takes, Han Solo in Empire Strikes Back, takes him in the carbonite. I had Slave One as a kid, I didn't know it was called that for the years. I just remember, it was my grandparents. My grandparents. It was one of the gifts that I got for Christmas one year, and I always hated that ship. I was like, what? It flies it's like an iron. It
was
really
like an
a
iron.
clothes iron. It was terrible. It just wasn't a great. It had the carbonite Han Solo. It's one of the only toys that I haven't tracked down that I have. I have a lot of my Star Wars toys, but I don't know where that one is. And but anyway, he takes him away. He does a few, lines of, he's no good to me, dead, or that shit. But he's gone. And then the next movie, he basically gets eaten by the fucking Sarlacc.
I think somebody said he only has, I can't remember if it's 7 or 13 minutes total of screen time.
Right, and that's what Darth Vader in the original Star Wars in A New Hope, he only had, I think, 9 minutes of screen time in that whole movie. And then his role expanded, but he really wasn't thought of as like a primary character until the second one. And the same thing with Boba Fett. I think what they say was Boba Fett, his popularity blew up because of that Christmas special.
And the books.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Star Wars universe, the expanded universe.
Yeah, a lot of that expanded universe stuff.
Yeah,
did that, and then I think he was big in some of the games. Mandalorians were much bigger in some of the games,
right?
Because once they expanded, that it wasn't just that dude; that it was this whole planet of bounty hunters and all that stuff. And then they did that whole thing where they worked for the Empire, and then the planet got destroyed. I mean,
right, yeah.
Once they put a mythos behind it, or ethos, I don't know what's the right term for that.
Mythos, probably, but I don't know, one of those.
But once they put that behind it, it became much more of a...
Yeah.
Instead of... I mean, it's like...
You
didn't see them giving backstories to the other bounty hunters. You know what I'm saying?
True, true.
And I had a bunch of those figures.
Because, I remember...
That dude with the weird
I
feet.
I have Bosk was the big lizard guy.
With the feet. Yeah, I had that.
And all he did in Empire Strikes Back was go... to that one guy, and that's it. And then IG-88 has become now I have that figure too. I have the original IG-88, but the IG-11 has actually made that cool now because I always wondered when I had that figure as a kid, I'm like, it's like brittle, like the arms and everything,
the legs were always bent and
it's like it's gonna
hard to
snap,
stand.
and it's like this is a stupid. Like, how would this thing be a bounty hunter? It's a shitty droid, and then after the Mandalorian, it's like, oh, that's badass. So he's able to spin and that's a really cool thing. But I wonder if they ever thought about that when they designed it in the first place for his minute of screen time in fucking Empire Strikes Back. Not even that. So yeah, a lot of those guys. There was another bounty hunter too that we're gonna look like with the bug head or whatever. Yeah, I got all of those guys. I had every figure. I still have. Yeah, I'm still pissed because when we first moved to Vegas, I lost a bunch of my Star Wars toys.
The Hoth playset,
just
baby.
A box. Yeah, the Hoth playset.
That's
and
a good playset too.
It was the Rebel side anyway. Yeah, and then I think there were a few figures in that box, and I lost my Indiana Jones figures, and I'm still mad about that because I know where I left them, and those fuckers never gave it back to me. But anyway, I know all those characters because of the figures, but it's just amazing how Boba Fett's popularity blew up, and like I said, I started watching Mandalorian. I'm almost up to current now with season 3, and it's good, man.
It's good.
I do like that show.
I watch it every Tuesday night at midnight when it comes out. I watch
that's
the show
what
right away.
I really like. I slowed down my binge watching when I realized I was getting up to, because once I get to current, then I'm gonna be pissed off because now I gotta wait for episodes.
There's only 2 episodes left though, so
yeah. I was really motoring through too because I wanted to get to the episode where Luke Skywalker comes in. I knew he was coming up in that season 2 finale, and I knew that they would have to do the Rogue One thing that they did like with Princess Leia and show the younger Luke. And so they hologrammed him, or like they did with Tarkin too in fucking Rogue One, but he was kind of.
But isn't Tarkin dead though? Like, isn't that actor actually dead?
Dude, yes, he's dead. So was Carrie Fisher.
Well,
like when that movie premiered, because I remember I saw it like around the time right around the first week it came out, and I remember being a little disturbed by the fact because I remember watching Rogue One going, isn't Peter Cushing dead? Because
yes.
I was like, that was fucking like that was almost 40 years ago, wasn't it?
He's long dead.
It was, and I'm like, he can't just look the same. But the only thing that threw me off is because like when you find out like the guy who played Ian, what's his name, played the Emperor, like he was like the youngest one on set in the fucking 80s. Like he was in his 30s when they just fucking did all the makeup and shit to make him look like a fucking 900-year-old piece of shit. But he was, so like it made me think like, maybe Peter Cushing isn't dead yet, but it was
fucked up.
But like Luke's character in Mandalorian was just kind of like it was a little wooden, probably because he was not really alive.
Well, but he was actually on set. He did all those shots.
Right, I know he did. He had to do the voice, right?
Well, he was physically there.
Yeah,
he was like when they did all the stuff and everything. That was him doing it. He was on set for all that. That was Mark Hamill.
So wait. He did it. They
just
still hologrammed him, right?
They just did his face.
Okay,
that was him on set.
Gotcha. Okay, so they youngified his face,
but he did all that shit. That was all him.
Okay, so as opposed to the way Princess Leia was,
where it was just straight CGI.
So it was straight CGI because it just seemed like I don't know. I guess because that's the thing with anything Star Wars universe. It's like, anytime they connect back to the original cast, that's when I get really interested. That's what
when it ties the room together, you know, and that's why I like all these. Because I watched all the animated series, I watched all that stuff. So like this,
I've never watched those. The
Ahsoka one really got me. Like, well, it's all on Disney Plus now.
Yeah, I know. I remember before it was on Disney Plus, before Disney bought it. Like I remember, I bought like a season of one of the animated ones, the Clone Wars one, I think, and I never watched it though.
12 seasons.
But yeah, it was like I wanted to. I still haven't watched the Boba Fett one. I hate how. I mean, that's one thing with Star Wars. Like, I hate how fucking negative everybody is about everything. Because I thought, okay, I mean, aside from the fucking prequels, I've loved everything. Like, I really like the new trilogy was fucking great. Like, the prequels just shouldn't have happened. They really should. Star Wars should have been episode 1, and then we just go. But we had to have the fucking prequels, which sucked because it's like, why am I building up to watch this guy become an asshole? And so I didn't really. I can't watch the prequels, but I love everything else. But it's like when you look online, there's so much just negativity, especially when it comes to the new trilogy. It's like, I mean, because when you think about it, Star Wars fans, they've been complaining since 1983. When you think about it, because it's like, really, other than Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, they've shit on every fucking episode that's come out since then. But they've all been great. It's like they're great fucking movies. I mean, they really are. And it's like, quit being such a dick about it.
Oh,
it's
they
like,
were shitting on
really
this
are
last
good
episode
movies.
because of the guest stars, because of the
Really?
people they had on.
Ah.
Because you want me to tell you who was the guest stars
Yeah,
on?
what?
Because it's Jack Black and Lizzo and like Christopher Lloyd was in it. And they
Yeah.
were just shitting all over like, we can't have all these stars in Star Wars. And I'm like,
It's like you're just thinking about something to complain about. Like
Yeah.
you're just trying to find
Yeah.
something to shit on. Like
Yeah.
why? Because I remember like it took me a while before like I ever even like it saw like reviews for like The Force Awakens. Because I just thought we all collectively loved it. I was like, that's fucking great. It was like. It was basically
it
you know,
ticked all the buttons. It tied
it
a lot of
did,
shit
man.
together.
It's like, what the fuck? What's your problem?
Yeah.
Like if the fact that we're reviving this, because we went so long without them. It's like we brought back Star Wars. We're going again with it. It's like, what are you fucking complaining about? And it's like, well, it's just like the first movie. It's like, yeah, right. It was the same pattern, same sort of thing where it's like you took this unknown from desert planet and then becomes the most important person in the galaxy. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, but it's a fucking great ride that we all get to go on again in our 40s as opposed to when we were kids. It's fucking great. So quit being a dick about it. Just fucking enjoy
My
it.
only complaint was like, especially with the way they're doing the series, I kind of wish they did like the whole thing is more of a series, because especially like that third movie, I just felt like they rushed so much shit to get to the end of that the last was it the what was it the last the one with all the
Rise of
Palpatine
Skywalker
stuff and like all the was that the last one?
Yeah.
That I felt like they just needed to develop all that stuff a little
I
bit more.
rewatched it again about maybe a month ago, and you know, it was I was actually like this. It got even better for me. I thought it was. I was like, this was really good. Like I liked it. Probably, I think maybe like the last chapter, The Rise of Skywalker, was the only one that I didn't go see in a theater. Maybe I think I might have been. Yeah, I didn't see it in a theater. So
I saw all of them in the theater.
yeah,
like, that was my
before
pattern.
that I did,
Yeah.
and I just it was the only one I hadn't, and so I watched it on my fucking
On your
movie
home
screen
theater,
here. So
yes.
maybe that's why I liked it better. But I really did. I thought it was great. I really did. Even like at the end where what's her name, Maz Kanata brings Chewie the fucking medal. I was like, that's pretty great because it really does. It shows an awareness, you know, and a nod to the fans, you know, where you're just like, yeah, because that is one of the things where.
But I just wanted more because they still left a lot of stuff wide open. She never talked about, like, I'll tell you the story of Luke's lightsaber later. Never closed that loophole. There was just a bunch of little things.
Well, the Finn thing with her and Finn.
That whole love thing that chick just disappeared in the third movie.
Yeah,
it's just like we're having this great battle, but she's studying somewhere. She's off doing like what? Like it was just there was a lot of little things.
Yeah, but still, all together though.
That thing when they went and like they had to hold the knife up to the exact point where they could find the stupid thing.
Yeah.
You know, or that they landed on the planet and then fell in the one cave where that shit was that they had to find. Like,
don't poke holes.
Right.
It's a movie, all right? There has to be some suspension of disbelief,
yes,
all right?
Yes.
Look, they're flying around in spaceships like they're cars, okay?
Right.
I mean, you can't really look at this whole thing and go, that one's, oh, I don't buy that. Like, really? They're fucking, they're fucking dominating a galaxy with fucking laser swords and fucking, you know, they got dogs flying ships and shit. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
But that's why I like
you gotta let stuff
Mandalorian
go.
and Boba Fett. It's filling in those gaps.
It does.
And all I wanted was in those last three movies, if they would have made it a series or even made it a third and a fourth movie, stretch it out a little more, would have filled in more gaps, and I think that would have been, frankly, a lot better. But now,
I enjoyed them.
But now they're filling the gaps in with all the series, which is fine too.
And it's great. I love that, you know, because it really was for the longest time. It's almost like George Lucas, you know, he got sick of doing him whatever in the 80s and all the shit with his wife and the divorce, and he was all depressed, and then, you know, things went kind of like, it was almost like he took it with him. He's like, no, like, this is mine, and we're not going to, since I don't feel like making any more Star Wars, nobody's going to make any more, so we're just not going to have any more Star Wars. And then we come out with the prequels, and basically we still had no Star Wars. Like, we really had to get a, this is one of those times where, this corporate colossus like Disney can come in, and it's like they managed to buy it, and now we get to have Star Wars again, and
so
that's
much Star
pretty
Wars.
fucking awesome.
Like,
So,
I watch all the animated stuff. That Bad Batch is good. Like, all
is
their
it?
stuff.
I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
seen
really
that
good.
yet.
I was like, but that's, and all those really, the Clone Wars, like I said, filled in, actually made me enjoy the prequel movies more because
Really?
the Clone Wars filled in so much more of the in-between shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like where you actually see him struggling with going bad and all that stuff, and like you saw Obi-Wan, right?
Oh yeah, I watched the
because
Obi-Wan.
even that whole thing with him and Vader, like, that was like, oh my god, this is
That
what
was
we
good
needed
shit, man. Yeah.
to tie the fucking room together.
That was,
we needed to like be like, okay, this is what happened. This is what we wanted.
Yeah.
That's what it's. So that's, but only Disney could do it, and the only way Disney could do it is because
The cats are playing with the fucking backdrop. Sorry.
is because we had a good run to them to be here towards the end.
Yeah.
But the only way Disney could do it is because they did Marvel. And only Disney could do Marvel too, because they're big enough that they will let the people be creative.
I don't know why, if you like these things, why you would complain that much about it, because it's like we're getting to.
If people ain't complaining, they're
getting
not
to see
happy.
them, yeah, man.
That's
They're letting them fucking stretch their legs now, so fucking let's do it.
Well, Cap, that brings us to the end of another episode of Blatherrhea here.
Good. All right.
Let's talk about where can the people find you coming up here. We of course got our Kimmels every Tuesday.
Yep, Kimmel Club Tuesdays. I'm going to Batavia, Illinois, the Comedy Vault. What this week? What am I? Is it the
13
through the 16th?
16th,
Or 15th. 13 to 14.
13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, so I'll be
whole
there
run.
4 nights. Yeah, and then I'll be at
More Kimmels, more
Comedy
Kimmels.
Works in Saratoga Springs, New York at end of April.
Yep.
And coming.
And Milwaukee in May.
Milwaukee in May. Yeah,
Tampa at the
Laughing
end of
Tampa. Just
May.
check JohnCaparulo.com because nobody's listening. So
Well, it'll
that's
be
it.
on. It's on the
It'll
screen
be,
too. I
Yeah,
always
Side
put it on the
Splitters
screen
in
for you,
Tampa
so.
coming up. Yeah, a lot of places. So yeah, come out. We'll have some laughs and. Please don't complain about Star Wars.
Yes, don't come at us with Star Wars.
I enjoy it, so yeah.
Yes, because we'll go heavy on you. We'll go heavy on you. We'll heavy-handed with the Star Wars.
But anyway, thanks for joining us.
Yep. Follow JohnCaparulo.com. Follow me at BrianShinanigan.com. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Tell your friends. We just launched. We got a lot of episodes now. Word of mouth is spreading, but we can always spread further. If you like us, share us. If you don't like us, just go away. We don't need comments. We don't need any negativity. We don't need it. But so that's another episode of Blatherrhea. I've been Brian Shinanigan.
He's been Brian Shinanigan.
And this is John Caparulo.
Thanks for joining us.
And we're
Peace.
out.